Master Prac. Oh, I mean, I need more than an hour webinar to go into the details of how absolutely incredible Master Practitioner is. I did my first Master Prac in 1980. It was like 85, 86. It was spread out over 9 months, and it was every other weekend for 9 months. Oh, that was crazy. As a kid, it was too much. I much would have rather have done it all at once, condensed, because really people were showing up and asking questions about what happened the previous weekend. It's like they had forgotten. And I sat there just going, come on, you guys, I want to get into some deeper stuff. I want to get into some incredible, deep content, deep information. And we did, but not to the depth that we go to nowadays. So when I was 21, I began to work for this company back in 1992. I asked my dad, I said, hey, I want to come become a trainer of NLP. I want to become a trainer. And I didn't yet think that I wanted to teach, yet I felt this call to go to trainers training. My father said to me, I would humbly ask that you retake Master Practitioner, that you retake the Master Practitioner training as a 20-year-old. You're going to have a different view of how things are in comparison to being, 15, 14. That time frame is very different. And I did. And I was so grateful that I did, because I learned the earlier version of MER, mental and emotional release. And I mean, the depth that it went into, it was mind-blowing. And I credit Master Prac to really launching me on that path of who I am today. It taught me a depth of communication. It taught me a level of confidence. And most importantly, the way we have it structured now, which it wasn't structured back in the 90s this way, is you getting to do a breakthrough session. You getting to clear out the baggage in a specific area of your life, letting go of the negative emotions around that, fine-tuning a goal, and really sparking an action plan that leads you into the future. I mean, I've had people come to it and 20, 30 pounds of weight gone within a couple of months after leaving Master Prac, because that breakthrough session wiped out the baggage. I've had student after student find the relationship of their dreams. I remember Alex, who came and did Master Prac. He got into a relationship that he had been wanting to be in desperately his entire life, let go of baggage around whether or not he's lovable, whether or not he even loves himself. Tris, my wife, did Master Prac and then quits the Chopra Center. I'm thinking she's nuts, right? Quitting, working with Deepak Chopra. And she's like, I'm worth more than that. She recontracted to teach trainings for them, but go out on her own and become a 6-figure coach. She credits that to Master Prac. She's going to be teaching there as well in the second week in July, second week in November. So I can go on and on about the success stories. And what I want to do is I want to set you up for the most success so that you get the most value out of Master Practitioner. I know that there are so many different things that I could go over, and what I picked to go over in this webinar is what we've been going over with people coming to Master Prac now for a few years, and we have noticed a difference in the results. So I posted a recent article that talks about how multitasking causes brain damage. It was printed in Forbes magazine. You can look it up, Google it yourself. Multitasking causes brain damage. And they talked about how in the brain, we're not wired to try to do 2 or 3 things. So what I want you to do is take your phones, turn them face down, and pay attention to what I'm sharing with you right now, because whether you're watching this as a recording or whether you are focusing in on it tonight with me live, these are the things that are going to set you up to getting the most out of this investment of time. More than the money, it's an investment of time and a dedication to you. And I applaud you on that. I really do. Every single person that's ever done Master Prac, I've said to groups, would you go back to your practitioner training and tell everyone to come? And without a doubt, the room just is like, hell yes. I would go back and tell everyone in my practitioner training, you're making the biggest mistake if you miss this opportunity. If anything, when people delay it, I've heard them say, I needed this back when I signed up for it. Why the hell did I wait? And that's because we get distracted. We get distracted by our phones. We get distracted by Facebook, by the world that's going on. The biggest takeaway that I've gotten over the years from you guys after you have attended Master Prac is the level of congruency with who you are and your ability to navigate this world and the experiences that you go through. I think that's huge. And this is a massive opportunity for you to learn the most about you. So let me talk about what we're covering tonight. I'm going to talk about cause and effect. I know that you learned that in your practitioner training. I want to talk to you about being at cause, being responsible for your results. I want to talk about the importance of values. We're going to spend about 2 full days on values between week 1 and week 2. Values are huge. With one of my clients today, I did a breakthrough session with her 3 months ago, and we were going back through her values again to make sure that her values are aligned with her goal. Then I want to talk about setting an appropriate goal for the training. What is a goal that you can set that is going to help you achieve the greatest results in the training? And then finally, any preparation that you need to for a Master Prac. This is the big things that we're focusing on. So let's begin. The major themes in NLP, the major themes that we talked about at your practitioner training were: 1, perception is interpretation. You guys remember the gorilla video, right? That's such a great video. I don't even know, I would have to talk endlessly before I had that video. I mean, I would have to go on and explain how reality is in your head, that what you see outside of you is an internal representation in your head. And you know, some people would get it, and yet they would still sit there and go, no, I see everything, I experience everything that's out there. And you don't. You just don't. It's shown from neurology, it's shown from your physiology that you don't experience everything that's going on outside you. And if anything, your interpretation of it, the meaning that you make out of what you're experiencing, is what actually is what is out there. It's what's in your head. So if you have fear, you see, hear, and feel things that have fear-based quality to it. Empowerment is cause and effect. Empowerment is the idea of being at cause, being empowered for the things that you're experiencing. At the end of the day, you know, if you point your finger outside you, you got 3 pointing back. That's where I'm going to spend a little bit of time. Energy, mind, emotion, body. We're going to talk about energy, mindset, emotions. We're going to go into work on the shadow in the second week of Master Practitioner. We're going to talk to you guys about things to help you really deal with the deeper stuff. We're going to talk a lot about energy as well, quantum physics, energy, and then responsibility for change. You being 100% in charge of getting change in your life and creating shift. The main thing for this webinar, though, that I want to focus in on is being at cause. You as a master practitioner, the way you get more empowered in your life, the way you get out of that effect, out of that blamer mode, is to take back that empowerment by getting your results. Now, at the end of the day, I think everything boils down to being happy. Being happy in your relationship, being happy with your career, being happy with your kids, with your body. At the end of the day, I think everything boils down to happiness. And what brings happiness is getting a specific result. So if you're not happy because you're alone, then finding the right person for you, that's a result. And when you get that result, then you get true happiness. You know, some people sit there and they go, it's not all about money or your job. I get that. And we live in a world that requires us to bring in income. Ethan's going to college next year. I'm so grateful he's a master practitioner, a trainer of NLP. It has made a complete difference in his life. And teachers noticed a difference before and after his NLP training. Teachers noticed a difference in who and what he represented. and how easy it was for him to articulate. In English, in his senior year, he was allowed to do a presentation for his class on anything, and he decided to do the onilne meditation, the meditation that we did with you guys at Prac. And students were coming up to him and going, Ethan, I didn't know you meditated. I've been meditating. I was blown away by your presentation and your meditation. Teacher after teacher come up to me and they say, your son, one of them said, is so empowered. And no, he hasn't made $1 million. It's not about money. He's happy with who he is. Well, he set a whole bunch of goals to get into colleges, and he got into all the ones that he applied for. He's looking at all of his options now. Getting into a college doesn't make you happy. Me getting a client to be able to pay for his college, that's not what brings true happiness. And yet, getting that result, that is true empowerment. And at the end of the day, you are 100% responsible for your results. You are 100% responsible for getting from where you are to where you need to be. You remember the analogy, if we were going to fly from John Wayne to Kona, pilots don't take excuses. Pilots don't accept reasons. They only accept results. And flying there is not a straight line, because if you're off target, even just 1%, if you don't keep your focus on where you need to be, it's as if you can be so far off course that you fly right past your goal. Being 100% at cause also means that you have to be responsible for dealing with your obstacles, dealing with the things that come up in life that can get in the way. Getting to master practitioner. I've heard people say, this is occurring in my life, this is occurring. I mean, I had a person show up and say that they just lost a dear family member. I've had people show up and say, I lost my job. And then I've seen people smile after saying that and saying, this is the right place for me. This is the right place to be. It's almost a metaphor for life, right? You guys made a commitment to be there. And you're in flight right now. You're in flight. And I know because some of you have reached out to me, some of you are having to do course corrections, altitude adjustments, altitude. We were flying here to San Diego last night and we hit some turbulence. And the pilot's like, oh, we're going to drop down a little bit, come out of the turbulence. It'll be bouncy for just a little bit. Not, oh my God, it's not meant to be. Maybe I should just turn around. No, because in life, like you going to Master Prac, like you doing anything, everything that might occur and anything that might occur is a part of your path, is a part to getting from where you are to where you need to be. Your dedication and everything that you're doing to get there becomes a lesson for you. I know that if I put a goal out there to achieve something, that it's going to happen. It's not a question of if anymore. It's a matter of when am I going to achieve it. And I don't claim that I can do anything. I do claim, though, that the things that I want to do are within reach. The things that mean the most to me, that are the most important, and they're in reach, and I'm able to go for them because I know that I'm so dedicated to the path and that I'm going to take action and achieve the things that I want to achieve in life. So you have to begin to think about not getting to Master Prac, right? Like when you are going to be breaking the board at Master Prac, you guys are going to put your hand through a solid board. You never aim for the board, you aim through the board. It's follow through. So now I want to kick it up a notch. I don't want you guys just thinking, what do I need to do to get to Master Prac? I need you to think about, what is Master Prac going to do for me? What is Master Prac going to do to help me propel myself on this path of life? I'm going to skip 2 slides ahead. I'm going to come back around to values. I want you to begin to think about, what area of life do you want to work on? See, at Master Prac in the breakthrough session, that's in the 2nd week, you pick one area of life and you clear out all of the baggage in that area. So rather than thinking, I need to get from where I am to get to Master Prac, I want you to begin to think about, what are you going to do once you've cleared out all of that baggage? Who are you going to become as you become free of the baggage and are able to set a clear and concise goal that you know you can achieve, that result will bring in true happiness and purpose in your life, and that by achieving that result, that you'll be able to begin to do the things that you're meant to do and have the things that you truly deserve. Here's the biggest question. Which area, if you were supercharged in that area, would be the area that would make everything else easier to work on? Let me say that again. Which area, when you become supercharged in that area after doing your breakthrough session, will make the other areas easier to work on? When I went to Master Prac, we weren't doing breakthrough sessions. Thinking back to that time in my life, I probably would have picked career. I felt aimless. I felt like I was wandering. Even though I had begun to work for the company, I never saw it as my long-term goal, right? It's made 25 years with the company last year. I never saw myself sticking around past 3 years. I was going to get out of college and be gone. 25 years later, 26 years later now. Yeah, when I see you guys this summer, it'll be 26 years that I've been working for the company. I would have picked career. And the reason why is that at that time in my life, I felt like if I had career handled, I think it would have made the other areas easier in life. Fast forward, if I did Master Prac 8 years later, probably would have picked fitness and nutrition. That was when I hit my worst. About 7 years later. That's when I hit my worst, when I was at my low point with my fitness, my nutrition. I probably would have worked on that. I've had people come in to work on relationships, either to enhance their existing relationship or to get into a relationship and find the person of their dreams. I didn't get permission to share the person's name. There's a family. There's a woman who has done Prac, Master Prac, Trainer's Training. She's done 3 levels of HUNA. Her daughter's good friends with my daughter. She's an amazing woman. I've grown to become really fond of her and her family as they have attended our trainings. And I didn't know this. She credits Master Prac to bringing her family back together. She's actually made sure that she sent all of her family members through our trainings. And she got up and gave a testimonial, and it brought me to tears because she went to tears. And I'm like, oh my God, I didn't know this. She credits the Master Practitioner training of bringing her family back. And she did a breakthrough session on family. She said her family had so fragmented that they didn't even want to be around each other anymore. And as a kid growing up, she said we were the tightest family. And it's so crazy because in life, we can think this is the area everyone should work on, but it's really, what is the area for you? What area is going to make everything else easier to work on? That's what you want to do for the breakthrough session. That's what you want to do in the second week. So in the first week, you pick a different area. Let me say that again now. In week 1, you pick an area that you're not going to be working on in the breakthrough session. So let's say, for example, you're like, I don't know, man, I want to work on career and I want to work on fitness. I don't know which one. Well, if you're definitely not working on relationships, then focus on relationships in week 1. Doesn't matter if you're coming in July or November, I always give this recommendation. And you coming in, it's going to be so much more valuable for you to have this already handled. There'll be less questions, less I'm not sure what to do, Dr. Matt or Dr. John. I'm not really sure how to handle this, Pega. Well, what should I do? No, you'll already have this handled and you'll be able to get way more traction a lot faster. Values. One of the big things that we're covering at Master Prac is values. So you're going to see this slide again, and it's in your Master Practitioner manual. It is in the manual. So you're going to see the slide again, and values are what's important to us. Our highly valued criteria are our most important values. So values, they determine what we do with our time and how we evaluate the time that we have spent. They are the label for the deepest level programming. So to be clear, in cognitive psychology, the deepest level programming that they have right now, that they have identified, is what's called a value. Values drive your beliefs and your attitude. We spend about 2 full days on values, Really, because if you know your values, you can align your values with your goal. If you know your values and clear out the baggage in your values, it's like you're clearing out the deeper level programming inside of you so that you're able to connect up your values with your goal so that the two together are able to get you back on track, get you heading in the direction that you want to be heading in. How you elicit your values. I'm only going to give you guys the standard elicitation. There's 3 levels to the elicitation that you learn at MasterPrac. And it's not that I don't want to give it to you here. It's like 2 days of classes before we would get to this section on just values alone. And that's on day 3 of MasterPrac. We begin on values, day 3 of week 1. What you do is you ask yourself, what's important to me about, and then you name an area. What's important to me about career? And words come out. But the word isn't what matters. The word represents an internal representation. So if I say to you, in relationships, love is important to me, the word love means something to me that's different than you. You guys remember the sex talk at MasterPrac when Dr. John or I said, write down the word sex and 5 words that sex equals. We each have a definition of love. Imagine this for a moment. You know your values in an area of life. You attach your values to a goal so that now your goal isn't just getting something like like getting a new remote or a new iPhone or a new whatever. It means something deeper to you now. You don't need to do a full values elicitation on yourself right now. I'm just beginning to have you think about, what area of life do you need to clean your values up in? By clean up, I mean let go of any baggage or conflicts. One of my clients, working with her last week, she has a conflict between 2 values. 2 values fighting for time. My favorite example is freedom versus money. Let's say you have a value for making money, or whatever word you want to use, and you have a value for freedom, or whatever word you want to use, and these 2 values are in conflict with each other. What happens is you begin to make more abundance in your life, and the freedom value goes, hey, what about me? So you go hang out on the beach, and the money value goes, hey, what about me? It's like you go back and forth between these 2 values. Intimacy and independence. I've had those 2 values go at each other in clients that I work with in their relationship. The list goes on and on. You can sometimes have 2 values in conflict with each other. We're going to teach you how to resolve that, teach you how to resolve values conflict, and that's a part of the breakthrough session. It's a huge part of it, to get rid of any conflicts within or between values. So first thing that you're going to want to focus in on before you get to MasterPrac is which one of these areas am I going to get the most bang for my buck? Which area am I going to get the most traction with? So that when you get to MasterPrac, you're coming in going, I'm working on this area in week 1, I'm working on this area in week 2, and you hit the ground running. Because we're doing exercises on day 1 to help you begin to resolve issues. By day 2, we're doing a lot, quite a few exercises on day 2. And the first week, it goes by fast. Lots of content, amazing classes, and big part of it, values. See, values and our momentum. Have you ever set a goal for something and you think that it's going to bring you happiness, and then when you get it, you're like, I didn't really need that, or I didn't really want that. Why did I go for that in the first place? When you attach a value to your goal, it helps you with your momentum. Sometimes we want to achieve something, we want to achieve a goal, and yet our actual behavior doesn't even match the goal at all. My classic example, if you did your practitioner training with me, is apple pie a la mode. I would sit there and go, I shouldn't eat this, take the next bite. Why am I a woman? I'm licking the plate and sugar coma overnight, Now I have control, right? I wanted to be healthy. I wanted to be fit. And yet I had so much lack of alignment with my values. When you don't have alignment with your values, you can get totally thrown off. There's a saying that we use in our NLP trainings, and that is that the conscious mind is the goal setter and the unconscious mind is the goal getter. So quite literally, you have this conscious mind that is the captain of the ship that says, I want to go in this direction. And yet your behaviors sometimes do not match the orders of the captain. You sit there and you go, I want to achieve health and fitness, and yet you keep eating apple pie a la mode. Or I want to really be in a loving, caring relationship, and yet you alienate yourself from your partner. You don't open up. I want to have an amazing career, and yet you self-sabotage and chase, squirrels looking at Facebook instead of doing your projects of what you should be doing. Ultimately, what you really, really want to think about is, if I had these two arrows aligned going in the same direction, what would that mean for every other area of my life? So that's where you want to go back to your first outcome. Your first goal is which area? Which area do I want to work on? Remember from your practitioner training, there are 5 principles for you achieving success. This comes from NLP. The first one is knowing your outcome. Successful people know their outcome. The next one is take action. Taking action means taking that first step, that next step. Having sensory acuity as an awareness outside of you. Are the things that I'm doing keeping me on track, helping me to get from where I am to where I need to be? And then finally, not just having behavioral flexibility, but operating from a physiology and a psychology of excellence. That, to me, those two could kind of be compressed into one. Behavioral flexibility means you can roll with the changes. Operating from a physiology and psychology of excellence means that you are doing your absolute best. You're going to hear these again and again. Now at MasterPrac, there's only about a day and a half of repeat content. Actually, even less than that, probably only about a day. We do parts integration. We do it at MasterPrac level. We do Milton model again. We do it at MasterPrac level. That's about it, you guys. Yeah, I mean, even swish pattern is advanced swish patterns, no submodality work. We do submodality work, but we tie it into how to change a value. So in other words, you're only getting about half a day, maybe a day at the most, of information you've heard before and taking it up to a MasterPrac level. You're going to hear this briefly during your MasterPrac, and I want to plant the seed right now. Successful people know their outcome. They know what it is that they want to achieve before they go into it. So my recommendation would be, once you have an area that you have decided, that you SMART goal it, that you go back to your practitioner level material, that you SMART goal what it is that you want to achieve, and not getting to MasterPrac, not breaking the board. I've had people message me on Facebook, I'm setting my goal, it's to break the board. Pretend that's going to happen, because everyone breaks their board. Pretend for a moment that you're going to achieve all the things that we said, this is what you're going to get at MasterPrac. I've had an 11-year-old kid break the board and achieve all of the results at MasterPrac. I've had an 80-year-old grandma come through, break the board, achieve everything that we said you're going to be able to get at MasterPrac, and everything and everyone in between. So pretend for a moment that, having been in business for 36 years, that you're going to get everything that you signed up for. You're going to get all of the information, all of the content. I don't want your SMART goal to be about what you achieve at MasterPrac. It's what are you going to do after? Again, it's that follow through, right? To break a board, you need speed and follow through. If we were in a group right now, I would say, everyone say speed, everyone say follow through. So true in life though, right? So true in life. Successful people make decisions quickly and are slow to undo them. I want you guys to think about this. Successful people make decisions rapidly and are slow to undo them. Now, there's a caveat. I will admit there's a caveat to this, and that is that if you're a hyper successful individual and you've never done any real estate investments, you're not going to make an immediate decision. You're going to learn how to invest in real estate. And once you have learned how to invest in real estate, people who are really good at real estate and have been doing it for years, they can walk into a house and immediately go yes or no. It's like their gut's able to respond, because really it's become an unconscious process. So let me say this again. Successful people, they make decisions rapidly and are slow to undo them. Unsuccessful people are slow to make decisions and so quick to undo them. I don't know what diet I should do. I don't know what workout program I should do. Should I take this job? Maybe I should think about it a little bit more, back and forth, back and forth. And then either the opportunity is gone or they finally pull the trigger and they're doing it. And then they go tell a friend, guess what I'm doing? And then you tell them and the friend's like, whoa, why are you doing that? Why are you doing that? And they sit there and they go, oh God, this is the wrong idea. I better undo it really quickly. That's the pattern of unsuccessful people. And I find that the difference is that a successful person has a follow-through target that they are going for. That's why I say speed and follow-through are so important in life, because sometimes an opportunity only opens for a moment. Sometimes an opportunity only presents itself for a brief moment, and the universe wants to see how serious are you at taking this opportunity. When you have a clear direction, when you have a clear goal that you're going for, it's actually easier for you to take appropriate action. There are so many people that my son knows who are in that 17, 18-year-old range, who are all about to graduate from high school. And he says how they go back and forth. It's like, I don't know, should I go to college? Should I go to this college? Do I want to become a photographer? Do I want to become a doctor? Do I want to become a businessman? And Ethan's like, at some point, you got to make a decision. At some point, you got to set a goal. Every time you think, I'm going to jump down a new path, it's like you're taking your energy and going back to square one. And Ethan's telling this to his friends, and he's been coaching for free, pro bono coaching, a couple of his friends. And they've made decisions on, here's where I'm going to college, and I'm sticking with it because, you know what, later on in life, maybe I can do something else. And Ethan pointed out to him, look, my dad has a degree in criminal justice and he doesn't do anything with it. And he later on became a doctor when he discovered what he truly wants. So I'm not claiming that this goal that you set is the end all and be all. You can set new goals. When you achieve it, you can go, maybe I really wanted to do something else. I own a place in Italy. For those of you that are going to be going to the July Master Practitioner, I land a few days, enough time to recover time zone wise, obviously. And I come and teach Master Prac after being at my house in Italy. My place, I own it. We go there for 2 months out of the year now. And when I set the goal, I knew that after having the house for a little while that I might sit there and go, why did I do it? But so what? In the moment, it felt right. And it's one of my favorite places to go. And my family, we have incredible memories from that house. And we've recently renovated it. Tristan and I renovated it, and it is such an incredible place to go to. And we want to go there more and more. At the end of the day, I'll sell it. I got my priorities right. I'll sell it if I needed to, but I don't need to. I don't want to. Now, what if I had found out that having a house in Italy was a mistake? Well, then sell it and set your next goal. What if you find out that this goal that you set is the very thing that helps you become the thing that you've always wanted to be? It's better to have a goal out there than to have nothing out there. It's like what I say in our fitness group. You know, we have these fitness groups that we run online, and we'll do some workouts. Do you guys want to do some workouts in the morning at Master Prac? We'll do some workouts. Pega and I, we love to lead the workouts. We can lead some workouts in the morning if you guys would like to. If there's a calling for it, we'll do it. We've done it before, gotten a lot of positive feedback on it. I say to people all the time, any workout is better than no workout. Well, the same thing is true for goals. Any goal out there is better than no goal. So what you do is you take the area that you're going to work on. You take the area of life that you're going to work on. Look out after the Master Practitioner training. Like look out 6 months, maybe a year after Master Prac. And down your timeline, ask yourself, what are you going to be doing with all of the information that you've learned? And put that goal out there in your future right now. Do it before you get to MasterPrac, because what that will do is it presupposes that you're going to get success at MasterPrac. See, I wouldn't set a goal to get to MasterPrac. I didn't set a goal to get to my first class in my doctoral program. I set a goal as to what am I going to do with my doctorate degree? What am I going to do with my PhD? Research, which we did on MER and Ho'oponopono, to validate that these techniques work. I put that out there, and it presupposes that I'm going to get the knowledge in my PhD program. So put a goal out there. What area of life are you going to work on, and what target can you put out into the future that is going to help you get all the information? And write it specific, measurable, achievable, realistic. Go back through your practitioner level notes and material and write out that SMART goal so that you have that in place, so that when you get there, you come into that training already knowing what it is that you're going for. People that show up at practitioner and master practitioner trainings who clearly know why they are there, they get so much more out of it than people that are like, I just signed up because it seems like a good idea. Nope, they get far less out of it. So one of the things that I want to do as we begin to wrap up is make sure that I take any questions that you guys have. So if you have any questions about practitioner that you want to post, go ahead and begin to type them in. A couple more things that I want to go over. Other things that you can do, because I have overachievers sometimes. Totally optional. Number one, totally optional. Read Structure of Magic, Volume 1 and 2. They're older NLP books. So if you like the old stuff, you want to know where it comes from, read it. If not, skip those. Read Integrate the Shadow. It's my third book. You could also read MER, Mental and Emotional Release. Grab my MER book if you haven't already. Get that read before you go there. That will really set you up for some success during the MER section. Must do, this is what you got to do now, your online values test. So you were sent links to take a values test, which we're going to go over on day 4. So on day 4, you're going to get the test back. We're going to go over it. You're going to be able to take a look at it, have a deeper understanding of you. And so make sure that you get that link. If you haven't received the email, it's been sent out to everyone and a follow-up, then you need to email our office, info@nlp.com or drmatt@nlp.com. Either way, that goes right to our office and they'll be able to resend the link. And then finish any practitioner level work that you need to do. Finish up the work that you need to do in order to be able to be successful at the Master Practitioner training, so that you're there and you're focused. So summary, tips, and then we'll wrap up with, I wanted to save at least 15 minutes for some questions. So number 1, stay at cause. Keep yourself focused on why you're going, complete your values test online, and set your goal. Contemplate the values that you're going to be looking at, like what's important to you in career, what's important to you in health and fitness, what's important to you in your relationship, and get the goal out there in the future, because that will help you to get some momentum going as we go into MasterPrac, which for those of you in Boston, that's like, what, 3 or 4 weeks away. And those of you who are coming to July with me, well, this is the 9th. We start up on the 8th. So this is April 8th. What is that, April? 3 months. 3 months yesterday. That time's going to fly by so quickly. We're going to be there at MasterPrac and have an incredible time. So the email address, if you didn't receive your link, if you need to get it, is drmatt@nlp.com or info. Svetlana, you're welcome. Just getting a whole bunch of thank yous here for doing this webinar and whatnot. Let me see. I got a question here. Jennifer. Hey, Jennifer. Cool to see you, man. Hi there. Thank you for all that. You're welcome. Thank you for all that you do. She says, to clarify, in MasterPrac, we choose one area to focus on, or during the breakthrough week, or do we go through all of them? Jennifer, we do one area during the breakthrough week. You're only going to have time to do one. A full breakthrough session focuses on one area. Like when I work with my clients, I do a breakthrough session with them before I start coaching them, and we pick one area to work on, and that's it. So in the second week of MasterPrac, you pick one area. Now, what that means is that during the first week, you can work on another area. There's no breakthrough session in the first week. You do kind of like all the pieces. Here's a way that I want you guys to look at MasterPrac. I used to work on cars. Let's use a car analogy. So when I first started working on cars, I was about 13 years old. And I remember the guy sat me down and he said, this is a Phillips head screwdriver, this is a flathead. I'm like, yeah, I know the difference between the two. I've used them at home. He's like, okay. Then he showed me like a hex wrench and he showed me this. He showed me all these tools because you can't understand how to work on a car if you don't know what tools you need. So week one is one of the trainers going like this. Here's how to do values elicitation. Go practice it. Here's how to do advanced parts integration. Go practice it. Here's how to do advanced language patterns. Go practice it. And then in the second week, we put it all together in a breakthrough session. So the breakthrough session is, I think it's 27 or 29 steps. I just expanded it a little bit. So I think we might be up to 27 steps of everything that you do during a 6 to 8 hour breakthrough with another person. You guide them through getting rid of all of their baggage in one area, and then you switch partners and someone guides you through letting go of all of your baggage, or vice versa. You might be the client first and master practitioner second. So the second week, we're taking all the tools from your practitioner training and all the tools from your master practitioner NLP section, putting it together in a breakthrough session and having you jump right in and do it. So that's what we're going to be doing in the second week of MasterPrac. Now, the first week, when you're learning all of the tools, you can pick another area to work on. It's not going to be as deep as a breakthrough session. It's still going to help you let go of some baggage though. So I would pick one area that's for the breakthrough session. That's the more important area. And then a second area for week one for you to just kind of focus in on to help you get even more results out of your master practitioner training. Jennifer, I hope that helps. How can I get to MasterPrac in Irvine, July 2018? What you would want to do, Svetlana, is you would want to contact the office. You want to contact our office by emailing drmatt@nlp.com, or you can call the office. I'm pretty sure we're closed right now. I think everything is closed. But we have a really cool toll-free number. When I used to go on radio, people would tell me we have the best 800 number. It's 800-800-MIND. So 800 two times and then M-I-N-D, MIND. Isn't that cool? It's a cool 800 number. No one places phone calls anymore, so no one really gives a shit, I guess. But we have pretty cool domain names, nlp.com. People still care about that, I guess. So anyway, you can email drmatt@nlp.com or info@nlp.com. so that you can have any questions answered about Irvine, Boston, or whatnot, the details on the location, the timing of it, because I got a question on timing. The timing of it is 10 a.m. in the morning until 8, and we take a lunch break. So your practitioner training was 9 to 8, and MasterPrac is 10 to 8. And I think all of the mornings are required except one in the second week. Other than that, it's content from 10 to 8. We used to do a 16-day MasterPrac and have a few mornings off. But, you know, life is busy and people have less and less time to take trainings, which it's crazy to me, right? If you work on you, you're better at work. If you work on you, you're better in relationship. If you work on you, you're better in your family. And yet people spend less and less time working on them, thinking that they're doing better by their company. When someone says to me, I don't have, you know, I'm preaching to the choir because you guys are all signed up. I don't have 16 days to take a master practitioner training, or 15 days, you know, 2 weeks. I'm like, well, that really tells me you need, because if you don't have 2 out of 52 weeks in the year to focus on you, that's a problem. That's a big problem. If I didn't have the ability to focus on me, the amount that I do, that would be no good. Benny, is there a test at the end of MasterPrac to become certified? There's a test during MasterPrac to become certified. We give you access to the test on day 1, and you take it, and the people that get their certification fast are the ones that take the test while they're there at the training. So you get access to that test. The MER section, the certification for MER is you doing a breakthrough session, and the certification for hypnosis is us observing you being able to do the trance work, being able to put someone else into a deep state of hypnosis. So the NLP section has a viewing component to it, as well as a written test that you'll be doing online. And we'll give you access to that when you get there. Yuki, would it be better to bring the practitioner training manual? By the way, looking forward to seeing you again. Good to see you, Yuki. Good to see you too. It's going to be fun. We're going to have a great time in the summer. And you know, I know a lot of people that do bring the prac manual. Your master prac manual does not contain the information from your prac. So I think it does say in the welcome packet for you to bring it, because if you're going to be doing a mapping across, or you're going to be doing a swish pattern or anchoring in your breakthrough session, the scripts aren't in the master prac manual. The master prac manual is a standalone manual, and it's pretty thick. It's a lot thicker than the prac manual. I mean, it would be. It's 2 weeks long. So if you have the space in your suitcase, I would highly recommend that you bring the prac manual in case you need to reference it. Most likely you'll be referencing it, if anything, in the second week, not the first week. So if you get through the first week and you're like, I never had to use the manual, that's okay. Second week is when you would probably be referencing it. And Benny, you're welcome. Glad that you asked that question. Completely forgot about the logistics, right? I'm just looking forward to teaching it. I love teaching this stuff. Master Prac is one of my favorite classes to teach. Only get to do a couple of years, so I really look forward to it. Okay, no more questions. I got a whole bunch of thank yous and looking forward to seeing you there. So that's all I got for you guys. And I am looking forward to seeing you there.